Hi.
Hey, Rebecca.
It's so nice to see you, Emily. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm really looking forward to chatting with you.
Likewise, I'm thrilled to be here. I'm Rebecca Jarvis. I cover business and technology for ABC News, and I've gotten to know Emily really over the last year because of her work, because she is both an advocate and an activist, but also an entrepreneur. And I really admire your story, Emily. I'm so excited to dig into it with you here.
Thank you so much.
So let's talk about that story. First of all, how are you? How are you doing today?
I'm good. Life with CF is a constant roller coaster, but I am so excited about the work we're doing with emilys-entourage. That is a huge daily motivator, and I am grateful for every single day that I'm able to do the work that really gives me life.
I would like to go back to the beginning, talk a little bit about your CF journey and emilys-entourage, how it was born.
So I was diagnosed when I was 6 weeks old. I was failure to thrive and I developed pneumonia, and my mom, through a mother's intuition, could tell that something was wrong, and actually read about CF in the Dr. Spock book. It said if you lick your baby's skin and it tastes like a salty pretzel, then they may have CF. And so my mom licked my skin, I tasted like a salty pretzel, and she asked the doctors to do a sweat test, which is how people with CF are diagnosed. So, CF is progressive. And so, as a little kid, I was much healthier. But as I got older, CF, my disease worsened, and it took more to keep it under control. And then in 2019, a triple combination was approved for 90% of the CF community. We're talking totally life-changing, really outrageously dramatic benefits from these new treatments. So we quickly realized that they wouldn't benefit people like me with nonsense mutations of CF. And on top of that, with advanced stage disease, we realized that I likely wouldn't be able to see those benefits in my lifetime, given how advanced my CF was, and that there was a whole community of people just like me who wouldn't benefit and who desperately needed breakthroughs and didn't have time to wait. And so we dove in head first. If no one else was going to take the reins, then it was up to us.
What is this living with CF like for you right now at this point?
Now I have advanced stage disease, and I spend about 4 to 5 hours a day doing medical treatments and fitness and all the things that it takes to keep me as healthy as possible. So breathing treatments and a therapy vest that shakes me up and vibrates to help move the mucus that builds up in my lungs. I take tons of pills. I do insulin injections for CF-related diabetes. And the truth is that if that is all it took to manage CF, I wouldn't utter a complaint. I would be completely happy. But unfortunately, CF is progressive, and there is no amount of hard work or discipline that can effectively halt the progression of the disease. And so it's like I'm constantly swimming upstream, and it's exhausting.
I look at you and the things that you have accomplished with emilys-entourage. You are a woman on a mission. Let's talk about some of these incredible things that emilys-entourage has accomplished at this point.
We've raised over $8.8 million. We have funded over 21 research projects at top academic institutions worldwide and secured over $37.5 million in follow-on funds. We spun out a CF gene therapy company called Spirovant that is rapidly advancing 2 gene therapy candidates and bringing them to clinic, which is incredibly exciting. We have built and cultivated an incredibly tight-knit community of CF researchers, scientists, and companies. And we have also built a variety of different research resources, including cell and animal models, as well as a CF nonsense mutation patient registry, which is helping to speed clinical trial recruitment, which is such a critical part of developing new drugs and doing it quickly.
If we were in a room, by the way, right now filled with people, they would be applauding all of this. There would be a standing ovation, because it is, it's not just significant, it is mind-boggling the amount of effort and change that you have brought to a huge, what might feel like insurmountable task. When it comes to the work that you've done with Emilys-Entourage, what are you most proud of?
We took a situation that was utterly devastating, and that easily could have been paralyzing. And we, together, as an entourage and a community of people, have made something of it.
I mean, look, here we are. We're conducting this interview right now, but it is clearly a challenge for you. Not only are you building a life-saving organization, but you are also 24/7 dealing with this in your own life.
That is one of the unique parts of what we're doing, is that the thing we're trying to build is just the thing that might save my own life. And working so hard to manage my illness while we're also trying to build the solution carries a lot of challenges. Obviously, I am operating with 35% lung function, spending tons of time every day managing my health, doing medical treatments, having doctor's appointments, dealing with health issues that inevitably come up all the time. For me and people like me, there is no option but to win. And so that kind of no alternative, motivates you to put everything on the line and to fight harder than anyone else would possibly fight, because there's no other option.
And yet, I have so much respect for you, because no one would blame you if your decision instead was to curl up in a corner and cry, or to just manage through this to whatever degree was possible. What is it ultimately at the core of who you are that motivates you?
The thing that really motivates me is the CF community. That is sort of that insatiable drive for me. There's this community with an urgent need that I care so deeply about and that I'm part of. And I want to give them futures. I don't want them to have to settle with anything less.
What I think is really critical here, and I wonder, of all the things, of everything that you've been able to accomplish through this work, what stands out the most in your mind?
The amount of kindness that we have witnessed firsthand has been just really heartwarming, in the biggest way, and seeing the way that people step up and how much people care about other people. I mean, I think that has just been so incredibly humanity affirming and just really moving. I feel very grateful and also really proud of is just what Emilys-Entourage shows about people.
What gives you the most hope?
For us, it's about speed. It's about time. It's about, time equals lives. And I believe that when we come together and we have a goal that really matters, and we have a community of people that we're fighting for that really urgently need new treatments and breakthroughs and cures, I really believe that there is nothing that we can't do.
If people watching right now take away one thing from you and your story, what should it be?
When you see in the world, something that needs to be changed, or that feels unjust, or that feels wrong, or that feels like it could be better, I hope that people take from Emilys-Entourage that you could be the very person to solve that problem. It's so easy to go through life assuming that other people are smarter, or have more access, or have things under control, that the major institutions are doing all the research necessary, that the powers that be have it all under control. And I think what I've learned from Emilys-Entourage is that sometimes you are just the force that the world needs to lead a critical change. And I think that's what Emilys-Entourage is for the CF community in the final 10%.
Emily, it's my honor to be with you here. Thank you so much for the invitation. I really admire the work that you're doing, and the world that you've built. You are fighting for an entire community of people with Emilys-Entourage. And I'm honored to be here and be a part of the conversation. And I hope everyone who's watching will take their step, make their impact on the world as well. Emily, thank you.
Thank you so much, Rebecca. This has been really fun.